about your flying history. How long have you been a traveller?
Professionally since 1982, and I was 24, and I was introduced to the Middle East and the Middle East way of doing business, and I lived in Cyprus from 82 to 1988, and I covered the Middle East from then towards the end of the 80s, and there I stayed in Dubai till about 1999, and then returned back to the UK, and then have carried on.
Okay. Can you just give me your full name and your sort of title?
My name is Bryden Nelson, and I'm the managing director of a company involved in IT.
Lovely. Now, for the past 15 years, you've lived here. Tell me a bit about your sort of normal travel habits.
My normal travel habits are predominantly with British Airways, generally worldwide, but focused on the Middle East, the Gulf states, bits and pieces within sub-Saharan Africa, some in the Far East, and I'm generally about 6 months of the year away. It's usually 2 weeks home, 2 weeks away, and that's sort of year on.
How much do you spend on travel, do you say, with British Airways?
Purely with BA, last year was around £45,000.
Was that a good year or a bad year?
That was lower than it has been. Reasons for that is I tend to fly Traveller Plus on journeys up to 5-6 hours, and after that length of time or overnight, then I go business.
So to sum up then, you think you are quite a good customer. I'm going to get you to combine all those answers. Say, I do this much travelling a year, I spend about this much money, and I've been doing it for quite a few years. So I would say. So to sum up, would you regard yourself as quite a loyal British Airways customer?
Yeah, very, very indeed.
Yeah, and tell me why.
I like the airline, I trust the airline, and I know I wasn't always a very happy flyer, and just felt if anything's going to go wrong, this is the best airline to get me out of any trouble. And I trust their crew, their aircraft, and I like their professionalism.
But what you don't like is the new Avios scheme.
No, most definitely not.
Okay, I'll just get you to speak because I don't speak openly. Right, okay,
Yeah.
What you don't like is the new Avios scheme. Explain what you don't like about this scheme.
The biggest problem are the blackout dates. Dates when seats are simply not available, and they are extensive. I mean, I can give you examples if you wish. I tried to go to Cape Town, to Sydney, and there weren't any seats in any class available for months either side of when I wanted to go. Nothing.
Is this a different experience? Because obviously you've got a lot of experience. You've had many years flying with BA and you've had air miles. Describe the difference.
Yeah, it was much easier during the air miles. There were less blacked out dates. Totally. One example would be to Cyprus. Have been going many years to Cyprus and fly from Gatwick to Paphos. Under the Avios, there are no Avios seats available, I think, at all year to Paphos, in any class.
And before you didn't have this trouble?
No, not at all, no.
What would you say to British Airways if they were sitting here?
Loyalty is a two-way thing, and I think if you are a gold card member, and you ought to be treated a little bit more flexibly than a blue or a silver. Air miles are a great thing to have. It really helps get the family on holiday, perhaps more long distance than we could probably afford, and so on. And it is a perk of travel.
Would it mean now that you would swap airlines? Would you actually think about, I'm not going to bother with BA, I'm going to do something else now? This Avios thing, has it so frustrated you?
Yeah, it is frustrating. It tests my loyalty to them. That's really what I would say.
And we'll just sum up again. I just want you to tell me that you're a loyal customer. You've been flying for 15 years. You spend at least £46,000 a year on flying, which is a lot, and this system isn't working, or something like that. Okay. So to sum up, then, what is your attitude? You've been flying a long time, so tell me a bit about that and what your feelings are now about the Avios scheme.
Yeah, I've been flying a long time. I know the industry inside out as a passenger, and I believe I know how it functions. I am dismayed at the appalling way the Avios scheme is run. I simply cannot plan to go anywhere at a specific time based on getting an air miles ticket. I used to be able to do that. I still can in some respects. In Europe, I go occasionally to Munich or to Hamburg with family members, and that's not a problem. And there are many choices during the day of which flights I can use. But the further afield you go and the more popular the routes, it's almost impossible.
And you spend a lot of money with them at the moment.
I do. I mean, I spend last year £45,000 with them. I'm a gold card member. I have been for many years. So my loyalty is there.
Okay, I think that's enough. That's enough. Thank you. That was very good.
Is that it?
Yeah. How? What annoys you most? What's been annoying you most?
I think when you after a busy year flying a lot, you'd want a nice holiday break, and to use some of that hard-earned air miles, or Avios as they call it, to contribute to that holiday. And it is for me, for where I want to go, almost impossible.
And you're saying Cyprus?
Yeah, Paphos, for example, from Gatwick. I mean, do you want me to go on and... Yeah, I mean, if I went online now, onto the BA website, and went on to Spend Avios and clicked in from Gatwick to Paphos and gave them sort of my date window, I can guarantee there won't be anything there.
Shall we have a go?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So here we are from London Gatwick to Paphos. I wanted to go on the, and remember this is pre-school holidays, I wanted to go on the 1st of July for 3 weeks, coming back on the 22nd. Let's click on business. There will be 2 of us travelling. And now it's getting the flights available. Sorry, for those specific dates, the 1st of July out and the 22nd of July back, there are no flights available. So if I click on view the calendar of British Airways availability for that month, again, for the whole month, there is not 1 seat out and not 1 seat back. Let's go back to June. There.
We'll do this again in close up on the
You
other
have
way.
to do with a different lens because this is like a prime lens, so I can't zoom in and out. I need to move the camera, but
Right.
let's do questions now and then. I'll change the lens and we'll do everything else.
Okay, that's enough for that then. So we'll
Is that
stop
right?
that.
Okay.
Yeah, super. That's good. It's interesting you say it because
But you see, I like it. It's my favourite of all the Gulf states.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Why?
the people.
The people,
They
right,
they
okay.
they have never lost
No, sort of joy
who
of
they
that.
are.
Right, okay.
And despite this massive growth and nonsense that's going on, I mean,
Richest country in the world, really.
per capita, yes,
Yeah.
but there's so few of them. There's less than 300,000 of
And then
them.
this is the size of Yorkshire. I was really large. Right, well, so we'll do that again. So I'll say to you, well, shall we have a go?
Yeah.
And let's have a go and see if you can get a flight to Paphos. So
Okay.
you say that, because then
Yeah. Okay.
I say start.
So shall we have a look here on the BA website and see if I can get flights to Paphos for my summer holiday? Okay, I'll go from London Gatwick to Paphos. They don't fly from Heathrow. I'll click the 1st of July is when I want to go and come back 3 weeks later on the 22nd of July. We'll click business class retreat and search. Sorry, there are no flights available on Monday the 1st of July. So I can now click view calendar of British Airways availability, and that gives you the window over the month. And there is not 1 seat available, either out or back in June or July. Let's go back even further. Even though I don't want to go in May, there is nothing in May. and the other side there is nothing in August or September. And I believe there's probably not a seat available all year.
Okay, so that's your holiday gone.
That's holiday, yes.
Can you try now, while we're in this position, shall we have a go at, you wanted a long haul, didn't you, to Australia? Do you want to have a go?
Yeah, I was thinking of going to maybe Singapore or something and then taking a break, so I would probably get a flight to Singapore. Okay, so let's try a flight to Singapore, where I wanted to go in early December. Let's go on the last week of November, I think. Last week of November, let's go on a Monday. And back 2 weeks later. And again, we'll go business as it's a long 12, 13-hour flight. And search and see where we get. Right, on those days there is nothing direct. They can send me on a 20-hour, 45-minute journey from Heathrow to Hong Kong, and then from Hong Kong to Singapore, 20 hours, 45 minutes. That's on your holiday. On the way back, even worse, 21 hours, 20 minutes, Singapore to Narita and Tokyo, and Narita back to Heathrow. Nothing direct at all, in any class.
And what about the rest of the dates around those dates? Let's look at the calendar.
Let's have a look at the calendar. There is no availability on British Airways for the display date range. Your options are to select an alternative date range. So from the 11th of November to the 9th of December, there are no seats available. And that is just for me as a Gold Card member. On the return, there is nothing available for those 28 days. I could look previously and say, well, maybe I'll change my plans and take it in October. Again, there's nothing in October, out or back.
Okay, I think that's enough, because it's over in a flash as well.
I'm sure. How long will this go on for? About
Well,
a
this
minute and a
is supposed
half?
to be, no, 6 minutes. We're
Oh,
supposed to be
wow.
doing.
But have you got others other than me?
Yes,
Good.
we're hoping. Well, you're our main case, though,
Oh, am
because
I?
you're so well. Because you couldn't be more perfect, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, if you just try and
Customer, but you paid £500.
Yes. Hang on. Wait to see what the tax is. Oh, there's 2 adults. It's £496.99. Taxes, fees, and carrier charges per person.
Right, hang on a sec on that. I just want to record the sound on this as well, Led, because
Okay, can we do first a few, like, can I show you? We do first.
Yeah.
Do first this shot.
yeah,
Him typing and
oh yeah, you want to get that one
describing
done.
Olivia, and then we go on to close up of the screen and all that stuff.
Okay, and then we'll come back to this if you don't mind, because we want to do. He's just actually on the
All right.
screen now for Dubai.
So,
you see, in the
Do
pack.
you want a close
So
up of that then?
I do actually. As you're on the screen, and then you can just say and look at this. Point it to and look at this.
I've just looked at flights going to Dubai, business class of BA in March. Ups popped 2. And horror of horrors, the taxis, fees and carrier charges per person are £496.99p each. Total price £993 for 2 people to go on an Avios ticket to Dubai return.
And you're saying that's more than you can get there for cheap.
You can, yes, most definitely you can get an economy seat. You could probably get 3 or 4 economies, or 2 or 3 for that price.
Okay, that's another.
No.
Yeah, ready.
Okay, start now.
So let's see if I can get from London Gatwick to Paphos, and I want to go on the 1st of July for 3 weeks, returning on the 22nd of July, and we will travel in business. There will be 2 of us, and they will now search for the flights. And surprise, surprise, there are no flights available on the dates I have chosen. So let's see if we can be a little bit more flexible. View the calendar of British Airways availability. And you will see that there are no flights available during that month window. I then have the option to look the previous 28 days. And again, from middle of May right through to the whole of June, there is nothing outward and there's nothing inbound at all. If I wanted to do it, maybe let's go for a spring break. Nothing from mid-April, all of May, either outbound or inbound.
That red remark, does that say no flights available?
There is no availability on British Airways for the displayed date range.
Right, can you get a real close-up on the red? Is that possible to do that? And just see this,
Yeah.
so we've got a real
Yeah.
close-up on that. So we have tried from May to September and you can't get a single flight.
No. Well, I put money on it that there isn't any for the entire year.
You would get an economy flight, you think, do you?
I doubt it very much. No, very, very doubtful.
Oh, right.
Yeah. I can check if you want
Yeah.
it now.
It's just that I'm trying to think what will they come back to me with?
Yeah, well, that's going to be one of them. Yeah.
So,
Because they do operate very small planes.
yeah, okay. Are you right with that?
But still.
Can you just do as a final check, just check any economy. You can keep it close.
Economy.
You
So
all right?
we have to do the white balance again. Keeps on
Oh.
changing because with this camera, if you move,
Don't worry, we're not in a
if you
rush.
just hold it there.
You want to-
No, there's nothing.
Good, well then we'll just
Nothing.
get you to... That's very disappointing actually,
Mm.
isn't it?
That's a bad one.
Like me,
That's
you
a
know.
really bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need to click off that page just for a second to click
Yeah.
back on it and see you click back on it, and then